Alright, good morning, good morning. Let's get started with the stream. Before I get into why we're looking bullish for the day, I will just go ahead and just going to go ahead and share the link. Sorry for the echo if you heard that. And alright, let me go ahead and edit this. Alright, so let me skip to my current charts, which would be right here. We're looking at gold, and this is on a 5-minute, right? But we're bullish on the day. We've had some pretty good moves. We had this low getting taken out, right? And now we've gone above this high here, so we should see a reversal, but overall we should be bullish on the day. Now if I go to the 1 minute, okay, we'll see how news plays out, but what I would like to see is if I'm gonna put a fib from here to here, we would like to take it below here as well, maybe in this imbalance on the 1 minute. We're going to do both the gold drill and the gold miner. Now overall we see 8 a.m. is around here, so if I was to put my fib from the low to the high here, let me go ahead and move this. There is no imbalance before 8, after 8, but below the 50% line. So it would have to be down here you enter, but for the regular gold trade, which is the gold mine, we do have a 5-minute low down here, right? I don't like this in a sense that this is the low of the day. So if we're going to trade this, right? If we're going to take a trade down here, it may continue bearish because of the current news at 8:30, but we'll see what happens by 8:30. The best idea would be to take a trade right there, right? And yesterday's loss, something I thought about yesterday's loss, guys, it should have been a no trade because we had too much news at earlier in the morning. You see it was like pretty much quiet, right? Let me go ahead and remove this. And then we had this big move, and then the news at 8:30 right here did not move above this high, right? It moved close to it, then went lower, broke this low here, and then went higher. But if we were to use this high, which should have been the high before, right? Because the high before 8 o'clock is this one here. There is no other swing high after this one. And as you could see, let me see, what was the high of this? 7224. 722. So even this one didn't break above it. So as you could see, we would have had no trade yesterday, right? I did take this high here because I figured that it is a good area if price breaks above it and closes above it, because it's in this wick and it would fill this wick, but obviously price wanted to go above it. So there is some little things we did yesterday that Didn't make sense, but it's alright. And I'm thinking it was a sell, so I'm not sure why I used that, but yeah, so we got stopped out. And today we're bullish, right? We're bullish for the day, and we're looking at lows, right? The low is right down here. So hopefully news will bring us down here before it goes higher. However, I will take a small trade if price breaks this low right here. Okay? So I will take a smaller trade if price breaks this low. But other than that, we're just waiting to see what happens. After price breaks this low and closes below it, we want a bullish engulfing candle, and we'll be pretty good. Now, when price reaches down here, I'm not going to take a full-size trade, okay? Reason I'm not going to take a full-size trade when price reaches here and it signals is because, again, on the 5-minute, the actual low before 8 o'clock is the low of the day. But because it already broke this really significant low right here, if price is bullish, I don't expect this low to be violated. This right here is not a swing low, but it is the last down close candle's low. So it has a better chance of violating this and reversing up than it has violating this. Because it broke this swing, right? What we could see is price reaches up into here, reaches maybe the 61% level, and then completely reverses and keeps going down. So we have to keep in mind that it breaking this low right here could mean that it is now bearish and price will do this. So if I was to put, like, let's say the 61 level is right here, you put your stop loss near the highs, and your TP would be, let's say 3 to 1, 2 to 1, whatever it is. So this could be a larger time frame trade that's going on, that's about to happen here, because this is a break of structure down here, right? You had liquidity break right here, broke up, broke down. So we could see price now about to make its way completely down. As you see here, you have break of structure right here, or you could even start it right here, right? Because this was it was making lower lows, right? And then it made higher low or higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. If it makes a higher high, obviously it's bullish. But keep in mind, if it breaks down here, this is the current trade that's going on, so it could continue going down towards like the, probably, let me zoom out and see what we have. We have area down here, so it could reach into this demand or order block, whatever you want to call it, which would be a trade that it's not really that bad of an idea, right? Now, if we go on the daily, let's take a look what the daily is doing. See, yesterday was really bullish. I did say yesterday, so if I just show you guys yesterday, remember what I said where price would reach up to? If it was bullish, it would reach up to here and these levels here. I had a line here, but I deleted it today because it's already been traded and closed above, right? So when you think of this right here, what do you see? Today, after a big, large candle, if any of you guys know the works of Larry Williams, you'll notice that after big range candles, there's little range candles. So I don't expect today's news to create a big candle that's going to go all the way down here or all the way up here. If anything, price may trade into this imbalance over here, and let me just change this color. So if we are bullish, right, we would like the 830 news to go down a little bit and then continue going higher. And when it goes higher, it's going to go towards these levels here. So you have this area right here, and then you have above these highs. So I will put the new high right here. And this is area where it could be reaching into. On the 4 hour, do we see anything? We see on the 4 hourly that price has taken the liquidity down here and it's reversed. So this is a bullish sign as well. On the hourly, we see this hourly is closing as an engulfing, right? If it does come down though, because 830 news has the power to take this down, it's probably going to break this low and continue driving down, and it's going to drive down into this area right here. I don't expect this day to be a very large range candle, so if I zoom this out, I would like to see, today is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, so we would be going down towards Monday's open, which is this weekly open right here. And if I go to, let's say, 15 minute, what do we see on the 15 minute? We see price has broken this level right here, right? It's gone up. It hasn't changed structure yet because it has to go all the way up here to change structure, right? Because this is the highest point between this low and this low. And it's going higher without us. So I'm very confident that if price breaks the high, we're probably not going to get a trade today. Which is okay, we're fine with not getting a trade today. Today is Wednesday, so yeah, we still have a lot of time. So we still have 5 minutes before news. And honestly, I do believe that price is going to make its way higher to those highs that I've marked. News may reverse it a little bit, but it's looking like on the daily, it's looking like it wants to push higher. So we'll see. On the 5 minute, it's changed structure because you could say it broke this high, but ultimately we want this high to be broken if we're changing structure. Yeah, if news does take this down, it's probably going to continue down because I just don't see it like breaking all these, like it's broken one, it's changed character once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now it could do it a 5th time. So on the 15 minute, I'm very reluctant to say that this is a, I don't really think it wants to go up here. On a 15 minute time frame, it doesn't look like that. On a 4 hour time frame, this ends in 30 minutes, right? This candle ends in 30 minutes. So if we don't see it going down after news, it's most likely bullish. But on the hourly, we've taken out liquidity. See, on the hourly, this is like a purge and revert, right? You have the purge, which is an ICT concept, or turtle soup, which was made by Laura or something. I forgot her last name, but you have the purge of anybody who had buys, who were buying down here, put stop loss down here. They got purged. price closed above the low. It closed, this candle looks like on the hourly, this might close above here. We don't know yet, right? We still have 33 minutes left. And this could mean that it probably will go higher. So the 1 hour is telling us that it's bullish. The 15-minute though does show something else. Let's look at the 30-minute. The 30-minute, we see it went higher once it broke. Here, 30-minute did break and close below, then it flipped back, and now it's closing above this. So 30-minute also shows bullish sign because it's basically the green candles have engulfed the last red candle. They took out liquidity down here and it reversed in, and this candle here that ends in 2 minutes is closing above here. So this does show that next candle could come down with news, but then ultimately keep going higher. And only really the 15-minute and the 5-minute is showing that it's bearish. But we have to look at the higher time frame, right? Even if it is bearish, how far is it going to go? I don't think it's going to reach down here. At least not today. On the 4 hour, on the weekly we're bullish, right? I don't think yesterday is the only expansion candle. We may get another expansion candle above these highs. And so one of these days, it could be today or tomorrow, we'll expand above these highs and the highs above here into this daily imbalance. So we're just waiting. Let's see. News is about to hit. So we'll see what the news does. If the news takes out the high of the day, we're not taking any trades because then I don't think it's going to form. For the gold drilling, okay, so news is hit. This is really uneventful. It was USD news, red news. Yeah, it's barely moved anything. Oh, here we have some reaction. With the gold drilling entry, let's look at the imbalances after 8 o'clock. So we have an imbalance here. We have an imbalance here. So if you take off this imbalance right here, and you took it off 50%, let's see if this would have stopped you out. You took 50% right there, and your stop loss is usually imbalance plus 2 pips, right? So the candle that is the imbalance plus 2 pips, which would be about 40. So if I just see here, you would have been triggered. This would not have hit stop loss. What was the low here? 28. Maybe if the spreads were high, well, if you're in my Forex fund, your stop loss would be 60 instead. So let's go back to 40 right here. Your take profit would be break even above here. So actually, when you entered this trade right here, depending on when you entered, this would have hit break even because it would have come back down as you hit the 50% line. However, if you didn't move to break even yet and you entered down here, then your target would be the high of the day, which is up here. I didn't take it because we had news too close. It was already 8:20 when this trade was going on. It's a good risk reward, and at that point your trade should be at break even at least. So I'm gonna make a video today on this, by the way. I'll make a video on the entries and I'll post it for you guys to watch, but basically you're risking 0.5% and you're trading 4 times, okay? So you could lose up to 4 trades, which would be 2% a day, okay? So yes, you're gonna have days like yesterday. I do believe yesterday would have, let me see if I can, let me remove this, and I believe yesterday we were bearish. So if we go to 1 minute yesterday, we're on the 1 minute chart, and we look for midnight open yesterday was right here. Yeah, you would have got stopped out. Let's see, so you had this imbalance right here. You entered probably right here. You would have got stopped out on this candle. So you had 1 loss there. Let's see, you had another imbalance here, but this was too close to news. So assuming you skipped that, you took this one instead. The 50% line was so this one here was break even here, so you broke even right there. Then you had another trade here, which you would have got stopped out, and I usually stop by 9:30 on this, or even 9 o'clock, but let's say 9:30. Was there another entry? There was one, there was another imbalance here and actually here. So if you decided to go for this one here, then obviously this would have stopped you. So you would have got like a 1.5% or 1% stop, and then today you would have made 7%. Well, if it reaches here yet, we don't know yet. You would make 7% on it, and last week it made like 20 something R, which would have been like 10%. So yeah, it does lose a lot, but the wins are just like really good to skip out on. Anyway, and then if it does come back down here, obviously you're taking out a break even, but I'll explain the strategy a little bit more later in the video so you guys can see this type of entry. I'm also looking to release the morning delight soon, so I should have that up. I think that was the final strategy I had promised, would be the morning delight. I should have that up probably by the end of the weekend or something. Okay guys, so we're still bearish. We just need price to come down to some sort of good area for us to, first and foremost, we want price to be below the 50% of the daily range, right? Which is here. Then we want it to break a low, which is down here, and we'll take it to go up if we get an engulfing. So it has to come down all the way down here. So I'll go ahead and put a arrow there, and we'll put another arrow here. Alright. Alright guys, while it keeps moving, I will be right back. I'm going to be muted. I will just leave a text behind here. I'll be a few minutes. Okay. I'll be a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. Let's keep looking. Let me go ahead and delete the midnight open, because we don't need that for take profit today. So we want price to close below this low right here, and it may not do that, right? If it's very bullish, it may not come down here. And I know days like this, you don't want to be sitting down at the chart very long. You don't want to wait 30-40 minutes for a trade. You just want to be in the trade, find out if you win or lose, and move on to the next day. But sometimes this is what it takes, right? If you could make even 8% a month doing this, then 8% on a $200 account is $16,000. You could make your monthly income a month, but with less time. You're sitting at your computer for 1 hour, you know, so just think of it that way. Don't think of it like today you're gonna sit here for an hour and not do anything. Think of it as in a month, when the month is over, you're gonna see results. Look back at your results and you will see you were profitable. So all the days, maybe the 3-4 days you sat down and didn't get a trade, or you sat down and lost an extra 3-4 days, but then you won 10 days, you're gonna notice that you're very profitable, and it's worth it. It's worth sitting down for an hour. Think of your goals when you're sitting down. Realize that you're not doing it to make money today. You're doing it to be consistent as a trader. Doesn't matter how many times you have to sit and watch. Maybe we don't get a trade tomorrow either, but that doesn't mean you give up. So keep that in mind. From next weekend, I will be posting the high probability draw trades again. For those of you who don't know, that is the weekly trades we take. So from this coming weekend, actually, I will be posting those again. So you can have weekly trades going. I've noticed they're doing really well. UJ is doing really well this week, but last night didn't have a trade because we had news on let me go ahead and delete this because I don't need to add that. But yesterday, since we're waiting here, let's take a look at NZD. I've told you guys the news we look at, right? It's in the Discord, but if we look at GBP NZD, so yesterday was right here. Sorry about that. So this is on a 1 minute chart, obviously. So you enter it like in the last minute, right? So I'm gonna assume you entered it down, even if you entered it down here, or I'll just assume you entered it at the close. However, you don't want to enter it too late. You want to enter it maybe a minute before, because on this minute here, it's gonna have less spreads than on this minute, right? And you use 15 pip stop loss on pound NZD, right? You risk 1R, and your reward is going to be 3R. Now, you can leave your take profit running, okay? You don't have to set your take profit at 3R. You must set your stop loss though. That's how you're going to be profitable, right? I'll show you. Let's just flip over to NZD USD. So you're doing the same thing with NZD USD as well. So let me go ahead and remove the drawings, and we'll go to at 45. So we'll say we entered the sell the minute before, so we shorted right there. And for NZD you use 10 pip stop loss, okay? And you do a 3R. And this is why I prefer to do sells on both sides, on both pairs, because if you did a buy on NZD, what was the highest it reached? You barely made 30 pips. Depending on where you entered, you probably didn't even make 3R. So that's why I like selling, because selling most likely you're gonna make that 3R. So you're risking 1% on NZD USD as well, and your risk reward is 3R. You set your stop loss but leave your TP, right? You can always exit your TP later on. The reason why you're leaving it, right? So when news hits, NZD USD hits stop loss immediately, okay? Now if we switch over to pound NZD, and let's go back to that. Where is it? Is this the pair I was looking at? Maybe not. I was looking at Owanda. Okay. Okay, so news hits, NZD USD gets taken out, but look at this. On the 1 minute, this flies down. So maybe you don't even get out at 3R, but you get out at 4R, or best yet, maybe you could even reach 5R. You took it out, right? You were watching this as it started to come back up. You exited. Maybe you exit a little bit higher, like around here, but either way, you could have got more than 3R, right? And this happens on, what news releases did I tell you guys this happens on? So it happens on CPI, right? Unemployment rate, inflation, GDP, and cash rate. And not many people do this. So the reason why NZD news doesn't really whipsaw, it does sometimes, but the reason why it doesn't do it as much is because it's in the evening time, right? Nobody's really trading the evening time, so the trades, there's not really any fighting between buyers and sellers. It's just one direction because everybody's either doing one thing or the other. So if you had questions about this news trading on NZD, on these NZD news releases, you can always just ask me. I don't mind sharing more details on it. But let's go back to gold. See if we're actually getting a setup. And so those news releases, they don't happen every month, right? But they do happen frequent enough to be making, if you're risking 1% or even 2%, worst case you lose 4%. If you're risking 2%, worst case you lose 4%. Then you have 3 tries left for the other NZD news if you're doing something like a 12% stop, right? Okay, so we see gold is just flying. It really does not want to provide us a trade setup, which is okay. We don't really mind waiting. We still got about, I'll say we have about 30 minutes. I'll still wait 30 more minutes to see. The only time I'll end the stream early is if we go above 1 here. If we go above 1, this the high of the day, then I'm done looking for a trade today. But there's still a lot of time, so we have 30 minutes. Anything can happen in 30 minutes. Gold likes moving, right? So on the daily, we still see it's red. 4 hourly, this candle's about to stop in 12 minutes, right? So it's gonna tell us something. Next candle could start with a wick but end bullish, so we could get a trade, but for that we need at least the first 15 minutes. Okay, on the hourly, the next candle, which is in 12 minutes, could come down here, create that wick and touch the area we wanted, and then continue driving higher. So as for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, they just look pretty much. This is actually still looking bearish. I still think 15 minutes looks bearish unless it breaks this level. Because I've seen this candle pattern play a lot where it flips and it closes. It's probably going to close. If it closes down here, next candle could drop even further. On a 5 minute here we have it breaks, right? Reverses. Fails to create a new high, so if it breaks this low, it could end up coming down to our entry. So we have time. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Remember, all you need to do is gain 8 to 10% a month and you're good. Doesn't matter what account you're on. Even if you purchased a 5K account that's funded or 10K, once you could do 8 to 10% consistently, you can level up your account. You could use profits that you make from the 10K account to fund your 100K account and 200K account and slowly go up. Try to stack new accounts, you know. As soon as you get funded on one account, don't stop there. Don't stick with one account. Start another challenge. Because when you get funded, your first payout, right? Your first payout should not be a huge amount. The key is your first payout should be between 1 and 5%. The reason why you want it so low is so that you don't overtrade once you get your funded. As soon as you get 1 to 5%, maybe you get like 3% or 2%, stop trading, wait for payout. Because that payout, you're going to get you're going to get refunded. You're going to get refunded your initial fee that you used to pay for the challenge. And that fee that you're going to get refunded, you could use to buy another challenge, right? So for the first payout, do not look for any big payouts. Just try to get enough, because some of them have like a minimum $50 or $100 payout. So try to get 1 or 2%, so win a trade, and just wait. That's it. Just wait to get paid out. Try to get your refund back. That's the first payout, okay? Don't be in a rush, because now you're funded. You could take your time. You could take it slow, and you could take your time. You don't need to risk 1% on a funded account. You could risk 0.5, 0.4, 0.2 even, right? You already made it. Now you just keep your account. Once you get refunded, work on getting another challenge done. And that's how you'll stay above. So even when you do lose that funded, you still made a little bit of profit from it, But the most important is that you got your money back, okay, from the challenge. That's why you don't want to tackle as soon as you get funded, you don't want to go for high profits. That's going to be a key to disaster, because that's one, it's making you greedy, and two, you're going to be risking too much where you're going to end up going downwards, and then you're going to be in fear of losing the account. But if you do get your refund back, you'll be thinking to yourself, like, I already got my refund back. I don't care if I lose this account. I already made some profits and I got my refund back for the challenge. So now it doesn't matter if I lose or win, because one, you're working on a new account to get funded, and two, you already got paid out. So I know I'm just going on about random stuff related to trading, but I mean, we don't have anything to do right now, so might as well try to convince you guys to be more cautious with your trading. So the idea here, if you're just joining us, is that we want price to come down here within the next about 20-25 minutes. Has to come down here, close below here, and then give us a bullish engulfing candle, and we will take it up. How far we take it up, we don't need to take it up all the way up here or even here. We just take 2R based on our trade setup. Okay, as you can see, our bias was correct for the day, so it is bullish. We just don't have an entry. We have about 5 minutes until you're gonna have a lot of closes, right? So we should see a big move coming soon, because we're gonna have